Imagine being immune to provocation. Someone hurls an insult, a colleague disrespects you in front of others, or a stranger mocks you online. Instead of feeling rage or embarrassment, you remain still, composed, in control, unaffected. This isn't some fantasy. It's a psychological discipline that was perfected over 2 millennia ago. The ancient Stoics believed that true power doesn't lie in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. Emotional resilience, they taught, is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill you develop through mental training. And that's what we're here to do. Let's go deeper, not just to hear wise quotes or quick tips, but to truly understand how to live above provocation and master our responses in a world that thrives on reaction. First, let's get honest about the environment we live in. We are surrounded by a culture that incentivizes outrage. Social media algorithms reward emotional reactions, likes, comments, reposts, and the loudest, angriest voices tend to get the most attention. Outrage is currency. But just because the world is loud doesn't mean you have to lose your composure. This is where Stoicism shines. It gives you a set of tools to filter out the noise, resist knee-jerk emotions, and respond with clarity and strength. But before we get to the methods, you must accept one central truth. You are responsible for how you feel. No one makes you angry. No one causes you to lose your cool. You choose it, consciously or unconsciously. That's hard to hear, but it's also incredibly empowering. Here's something most people never practice: the pause. Between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space lies your freedom. You don't need to respond immediately to criticism. You don't need to match someone's aggression with your own. Instead, practice intentional delay. Count to 5. Breathe. Step back mentally. This isn't weakness, it's strategy. This pause gives your higher self time to intervene before your primitive instincts take over. And over time, that pause becomes a habit, a natural buffer that protects your dignity and sharpens your judgment. Most people don't know what they stand for emotionally. They just react. Stoics were different. They lived by principles. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the things that trouble you, you can choose to let go. That's the power of having a philosophy. When you know your values, calm, composure, reason, you don't just react to situations, you respond through the lens of who you want to be. So ask yourself, what do I stand for when I'm challenged? Do I want to be the kind of person who loses control, or the one who remains steady in the storm? This one is difficult but transformative. The Stoics believe that much of our frustration comes not from events themselves, but from our expectations. We expect people to be kind, thoughtful, respectful, and when they aren't, we feel hurt or angry. But what if we expected people to be imperfect? What if you began your day like this? Today, I will likely encounter rudeness, ignorance, or disrespect, but I will not let it disturb me. I will remain calm and act with integrity, regardless of how others behave. This mindset shields you. It prepares you. It doesn't make you cynical. It makes you resilient. Here's another powerful shift. Your emotions are signals, not commands. Feeling angry doesn't mean you have to act in anger. Feeling offended doesn't mean someone has actually wronged you. The Stoics didn't deny emotion, but they didn't obey it blindly either. They trained themselves to treat emotions like weather. They come and go. Some are intense, some pass quickly. But none of them define you unless you let them. So next time you feel a rush of emotion, pause, observe, and respond from reason, not reflex. Every reaction you give someone is either a deposit into your dignity or a withdrawal. If someone insults you and you lash out, you've paid a price. Maybe it felt satisfying in the moment, but you lost composure. You gave them control. You acted out of ego, not strength. But when you walk away, say nothing, or respond with calm, your dignity increases, your power grows. And most importantly, you stay in alignment with the person you're trying to become. That's real mastery. That's leadership over yourself. Most emotional outbursts are fueled by ego. Someone challenges you. The ego screams, "How dare they?" But the Stoics remind us, you are not your reputation, you are not your pride. And defending yourself against every slight doesn't prove your strength, it exposes your insecurity. The person who needs to win every argument, clap back at every insult, and prove their superiority is ruled by ego, not wisdom. Humility is stronger than pride. Silence is often louder than shouting. Let your life, not your reactions, speak for you. Here's something radical. Intentionally make yourself uncomfortable. The Stoics believe that think of how much energy people waste being angry, holding grudges, or arguing over trivial things. Hours, days, sometimes years. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Every moment you spend angry is a moment you can't get back. Is the insult really worth your time? Is the argument really worth your peace?" When you recognize time as sacred, you become very selective about what earns your attention and what doesn't. If you want to be composed under pressure, you need to rehearse when it's calm. Read philosophy daily. Meditate, reflect, journal, review past mistakes, and envision better responses. Don't wait for conflict to practice control. Athletes train in the gym so they can perform in the arena. Stoics trained in quiet moments so they could lead during chaos. What you do in private shapes who you are in public. Discipline is the root. Composure is the fruit. If you've made it this far, then you already know there is another way to live. A calmer, stronger, wiser way. You don't have to be reactive. You don't have to let the world control your emotions. The Stoics gave us the blueprint, but only you can walk the path. So take these ideas, apply them, practice daily, and in time you'll notice the shift. Less anger, more clarity. Less chaos, more control. If this resonated with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. Let's keep building that mental fortress, one Stoic insight at a time. See you in the next video.